so much for joining the webinar. It will be a pleasure to kind of introduce to you the integration that we have kind of developed to automate the GST compliance. We know that ERPNext is very much capable of handling the financial management of an enterprise. But whenever we talk about financial management, GST is something that's a very crucial part for any company to, kind of take care of. It is a monthly activity, then it's a quarterly activity. It is also an yearly activity, and the data that the invoices that we generate in our ERPNext should be rightly kind of being taken care for the GST filings. The integration, the thought that 8848 Digital always had for this integration was that we wanted to skip certain kind of cumbersome steps that any enterprise would face when whenever we talk about GST, and there are a lot of steps which we will be kind of presenting to you while in this webinar. But firstly, before we start with the webinar, my question to all of you is that how many of you are currently kind of doing a JSON upload for your filings in the e-invoices? Can I know that? Okay, so I think I have around similar kind of answers from everyone, that some are doing it and some are not. But then my second question to every one of you would be, how are you managing your reconciliation? Is it on a manual Excel sheet, or it is like a manual activity for you at the month end? How is it? The reconciliation is automated, or it's something that you are doing on Excel sheet and manual basis? Okay, so I can see that 73% of you are basically doing your reconciliation on Excel sheet. Now that becomes a very, a very tedious activity for anyone, for any enterprise, because we know what the reconciliation means, and that is why it becomes a tedious task for every one of us. Now, to kind of address these pain points, 8848 Digital and Cleartax came up with this idea to integrate and skip these steps and make it a fully automated version for you guys. So I will first kind of brief you about what exactly our integration is. So we call it as automate your GST compliance with ERPNext. And the reason is, I think the questions that we asked you will be rightly addressed here, and why we called it as the automating of your GST compliance. You generate your e-invoices or your GST invoices in ERPNext, which are currently also doing the same. right now. But the automation that we provide you is with Cleartax, that we push your e-invoices and e-way bills or the GST invoices directly onto the Cleartax portal, which will be rightly demonstrated to you as well by Mohini. Once we kind of push this invoices to the Cleartax portal, the first step that it skips is you do not have to do any kind of JSON upload. The invoice will directly be pushed with correct data to the Cleartax portal. Then the Cleartax portal rightfully takes care of your reconciliation of your 2A and 2B, which is one of the magnanimous tasks that any enterprise faces. So the auto reconciliation is an AI automated tool that Cleartax provides you, and with some kind of fuzzy logics, but it gives you an exact result, and the reconciliation, it just skips all of your manual tasks. The reconciliation then can be used for your GSTR filing directly from the Cleartax. So there is no, there is no manual work that is included here. All of the thing is taken care of by the system itself. How this integration will benefit you? Basically, we are automating your submission of purchase invoices for your generation of GSTR 2A report. All the invoices that you can see and get in ERPNext are very much compliant with your GST print format compliances. The easy cancellation of IRN is something that we are providing a validation with. There are a lot of validations being taken care of in this integration. We are also giving a very unique feature is that the error tracking. Error tracking means whenever there is any kind of a failure while you generate your IRNs, you can easily track those errors and kind of correct those and push again your invoices. We are also saying that the historical data for your GSTR 2A and 2B can be rightly pulled up in your Cleartax portal. We are giving you the audit trail and bill entry features at the same time. How does ERPNext plays its role in the integration? Now we are basically saying that both the businesses, those who are covered under e-invoicing and not covered under e-invoicing, can rightly use this integration. When we say that e-invoicing, the ERPNext helps you generate all the GST invoices, all your e-invoices, and rightfully submit it for the GSTR1 and GSTR3B filings. Your e-way bills, your auto update of the e-way bills can be done even for your shipments, your sales invoice, and the delivery notes. The most interesting feature of this integration is the bulk generation at the dashboard level. We know that enterprises are involved in generation of thousands of invoices in a month, and we know that we would not like to kind of generate invoices against a single sales invoice. So we are giving you the feature of bulk generation and the dashboard level reports. The similar features can be kind of be done for your non-e-invoicing activities. You can actually use this tool for your GST invoices and also your B2C invoices. We have also taken care of your RCMs, your export and deemed export invoices. Most of the compliances are being taken care of. When we say that if you we are completely kind of giving you this integration, all the information is available rightfully on the Cleartax documentation, and at the same time the application is available on the Frappe marketplace. Well, this is the app that is available on the Frappe marketplace. You can rightfully install it, subscribe it, reach out to us for the integration. We will be kind of implementing this activity with you, also targeting any user specific case that you face on, and we will kind of automate this GST compliance for you. So rightfully going through the demonstration, I would now like to ask Mohini to kind of start the demonstration. And any questions regarding the same, we can take it forward. Yeah.
Hello. I guess we can't hear you, Mohini.
Hello, am I audible now?
Yes, you're audible now.
Okay. Very good afternoon to everyone. So, like Harshada has already explained that how ERP is helping us to integrate with the Cleartax team, and we can use the application for making an ease in the GST written filings. So let's get an clear understanding about it, how the tool is being utilized in the process. So this is our screen where this is the ERP screen where we'll be able to punch our invoices, which almost I think everyone will be having an ERPNext installed in their system already. So let's see how we can do the e-invoicings, e-way bills through this tool. Okay. So for making an integration work in our ERP for the Cleartax, we need to enable those settings in our ERP. So here we'll be enabling these settings. For say this automate function operates, if you do the automate functioning enable, it will help us to move the invoices directly on the Cleartax portal once we submit those invoices. So let's not do the automation process over here now. And if the enterprises for which the e-invoicing is applicable, for say we are making the entries for two entities here. Entity one is having an e-invoicing mandatory, entity two is not having e-invoicing mandatory. So we can select the entity over here which is having the e-invoicing mandatory, and for only those entities we can push the invoices on the Cleartax portal. Further, so for say we are doing the integration process in the month of June now, and we want to punch or push the invoices which we have done for the month of April and May directly on the Cleartax portal. So here we have the functionality that we can push the backdated invoices on the one go on the Cleartax portal by selecting the backdated dates. I hope I'm clear here. This is just for the settings purpose, that once these settings are enabled in your ERP system, then it will help us to generate the e-invoicings, e-way bills, and all the tools which Cleartax integrations gives us. So we'll save the settings. Let's now try to push the e-invoicing on the Cleartax portal. So here we have already made some sales entries, like we already have sales entries. Okay. So let's try to push one sales entry on the Cleartax portal. See how this functionality works is, these invoices which we want to push to the GST portal, firstly will be all available in a sandbox on the Cleartax portal here. Just give me a moment. So we'll just check that how the Cleartax portal screen looks here. So this is the Cleartax portal. This is a sandbox. Basically, those invoices which you will be pushing to the Cleartax will rest over here, and then further it will help us to do the GST returns, GST reconciliations, reports, and etc. Okay. So first, say we have already made a sales invoice over here. So our ERP system provides a functionality that we could just punch this create option and then do the IRR for the same invoice. Just a moment. I think there is a technical issue. Give me a minute. Just a minute. Let's try to punch in another sales invoice and then try to create an IRR for the same. So we have considered the parties, the item, GST has been fetched directly. Let's save this invoice. So the sales invoice has been generated now. Let's hope now this gets pushed to the Cleartax portal. I guess there is a server issue here. Just give me 2 minutes and we'll make this sorted out.
Okay. So basically, there is some kind of NIC server issue that we can see. So maybe the IRP itself is kind of throwing some error, but we can show that how this functionality has been worked. We can see on our screen that there is a sales invoice, and we have already generated an IRN for this. How I can show you this is basically I can see that once I generate an IRN for it, it gives me a button called as cancel IRN. This can only happen when we have generated an IRN. How do I show you that? Basically, it's an e-invoice. I'll come to the section and I'll see that there is an e-invoice that's available with me. This is a compliant format that I can see on the screen. I have a 64-digit IRN number being generated with me here at the very top. I have a QR code. Now we all know that when we scan this QR code, the details that are there available for the e-invoicings rightly appear on the device whichever through which you are scanning it. We can also see that the details related to my item, the HSN code, and the quantity and the rate amount is rightly being fetched here. Now, as we said, how this integration works. This integration will work by once I push this data to my Cleartax portal. So what I'll do is I'll copy this invoice number. I'll come to this Cleartax portal. Now, this is going to be the activity that when we do the one-time configurations, you get a Cleartax account, you kind of integrate it with your ERPNext, and this starts running it. This is my dashboard section for all my invoices. All my invoices that have been generated on the ERPNext are rightfully pushed over here. This is a document section. I can see there are a lot of filters that Cleartax allows me to kind of have a visibility onto my invoices that have been generated. Now, what I've done is I have copied that same sales invoice number over here. I can see that the status of this document shows me that the IRN is generated. I can click on sales invoice and I can see that the details over here are rightfully fetched. So all the details that I entered correctly on the ERPNext are being fetched onto the system. The seller details, the buyer details, what are the value details of the item, what was the GST that was applicable onto it, the shipping details of the item are being correctly pushed. I can apply a lot of filters over here. For example, I can see only the generated invoices and the failed ones is something I can skip through. So I can see that, okay, the generated invoices are appearing here. As I said that we can also kind of, we normally do generate the credit notes on a daily purpose, right? And similar action can be taken care of. I have already generated a credit note for one of my sales invoice, and I can see that I've also generated an IRN against the same. The similar data can be kind of copied here. I can come here and check the invoice number. I can see that the data of the credit note is rightly fetched. I can click on the invoice and I can see that this is a credit note which was being generated on my ERPNext and rightfully pushed onto the Cleartax portal. Not only ERPNext allows you with a compliant GST formats, but here also I can have the template choices. For example, I can see that Cleartax provides me with the templates, different types of templates that I would want to see my invoice in. So you just have to kind of push your invoices from the ERPNext to the Cleartax, and you can get all of the other feature sets here itself. Now, as we said that the very unique functionality that ERPNext is providing you, basically with this integration, is the dashboard level generation. This is an e-invoicing dashboard. Now it gives me a clear picture of my daily traction. For example, from 21st of June, 21st of May to 21st of June, this graph itself shows me like how many invoices have I generated on a daily basis. So I can get the traction of this. At the same time, I have these curves. For example, the number of IRN that are being generated, like the e-invoices that are being generated, how many of them are cancelled and how many of them are being pending. What I can do is I can click on this IRN pending card and I can select the number of invoices. So what I can do is basically I can click on these number of invoices. I can come to this action button and I can just click on the generate IRN. Now, because we know that there are NIC server issue, but I think it will allow me to generate the bulk generation now. Okay, see, it's cool. So I can see that the bulk generation of the IRN is complete. So now I get to know that 231100989796 are being correctly pushed to my Cleartax portal. How do I check it? I will come on this portal of mine and I'll just come on the document section. I will basically click on the generated filter. I just scroll down and yes, so it is basically showing me that all my invoices are being kind of correctly pushed. I can see the sales invoice 88, 90, 92, 99 are being correctly pushed over here. I'll just click on one of the invoice to just check whether it is being rightly pushed or not. Yes, it is. It was one of them was a credit note, so it is correctly being pushed. So similar way, I can use this bulk generation functionality on a daily basis or a monthly basis, because we know that GSTR1 is a monthly activity for many of the enterprise. So this bulk generation functionality really helps me a lot. Similar way, we know that some of the enterprises are involved in kind of doing the transportation of the goods. So delivery note is something that comes into picture, and obviously EV bill is one of the most crucial feature for when we are kind of doing a transportation activity. Now, how does ERPNext functions here is basically I can come to one of the delivery note, and I see here that I've already generated an EV bill. So how do I basically check this? All the details. Well, when we are generating an EV bill, right, on the ERPNext, there are certain kind of prerequisites that I have to take care of. I have to see that I'm providing the correct information related to my transporter. So I have to correctly fill in the transporter details. We have given the validation on the vehicle number here. You have to provide a proper vehicle number, otherwise it won't let you push the e-vehicle. Distance, we can always keep 0. The reason why, it is auto calculated, and that is something we can see on the Cleartax portal also. So when I say that the distance is 0, it will auto calculate the distance based on my billing address and my shipping address. So what I've already generated an e-way bill against it. I'll just copy this delivery note number over here. I'll come to the e-way bill section of my Cleartax. The company is already being selected. I will just copy and paste this number. So I see that the EV bill number is already been generated, and the same EV bill number is something I can come on my delivery node and check here. For example, I'll just show you. This is the EV bill section, and I can see that this is a similar number. The the delivery note will also have the validity of the EV bill, and the real-time update is I can see the timing when the validity will be kind of it will get over. The generation date of the EV bill I can see, and the transaction ID as well. So in the similar way, I can come here, I can check, okay, this is something that I have with me. So all the details are correctly being fetched. Now, there are some kind of so your EV bill should have a proper print format, right? And I'll just show you how you can check this. See, I can check this way. It shows me a QR code over here. It shows me the EV bill details. It shows me the goods details, the transportation details, and everything. So the vehicle transaction ID, from, and the entered date. We have also taken care of one more functionality. For example, it shows me that the validity of the EV bill was supposed to get over at 20th of June. Now, if the goods has not yet been transported and it is still in the transit, then it means that I need to extend the validity of my EV bill. And I can come here on this section. I can just put the reason why I want to extend the validity, the consignment status, that is, it is in the transit yet, the transit type I can select over here, and the remarks. So basically I can say that, okay, the goods is still in the transit and stuff. So if there is any kind of vehicle number change, so I can update that way. And I can extend by clicking onto this. These details will be rightly pushed over on my Cleartax portal as well. So if I'm extending the validity, I can kind of check it over my Cleartax portal as well. I will kind of copy the same number, and the validity extension will appear here. So I can see, yes. So it is generated on 19 June. The validity of the same is somewhere, yes, here. So if I extend the date, the validity extension will also appear over here. Now, as I said that the calculation of the distance is something will be auto-calculated here. So I can see that the distance I inputted 0, but the Cleartax rightfully fetch 138 kilometers is the distance that will be covered. So this is how we kind of update the details. Now, the similar functionality is something that we are giving for the delivery note part B update. So what I can do is, how the steps follows is basically, we have kind of created a delivery note part B update list. So delivery note number 00312 is something that I have updated over here. So I'll just check one of them. Okay, this one. I changed the vehicle number. Okay, and I want to see that the vehicle number, similar vehicle number should be kind of appearing onto my delivery note. So what I can do is, I will just come over my delivery note list. I will kind of check through. Yes, this is the one. It was a sales return, and I kind of said that, okay, my the vehicle number was being changed, and I can see that this is the vehicle number. So what I'll do is I'll just copy this, and I want to see that the same details were being kind of pushed here or not. So I'll click on this delivery note. Okay, so it is showing me that, okay, the vehicle number was being correctly changed. So this way I can actually update the part B of my of my delivery note. Now, while generating e-way bill, it is also important to see that I can do the bulk generations or not. So what we have done is, we have given you the e-way bill dashboard. This is something that we have taken care of. So we can see the daily tractions over here, the number of e-way bills that have been generated, number that have been cancelled, and those who are pending. So I can see that the 66 are being pending. I can select the numbers. When I come to the action list, I will generate the e-way bill. So e-way bill is being generated. This shows me that the bulk generation of e-way bill is complete. The same data will be rightfully pushed to the delivery note, like through the e-invoice portal as well. So I can come here and I can actually check if this data has been pushed or not. So yes, so here I can see that the delivery notes are being rightfully pushed, and those were in the bulk generation. So this way we kind of seamlessly push your data from the ERPNext to the Cleartax portal, and then the Cleartax kind of takes care of all your reconciliation part. The another important piece over here is the error track that I kind of told you at the very start. So this is a Cleartax API log list that we provide you, and basically it tracks whether the generation of your e-way bills or e-invoice was success or failed, and if failed, why it was failed. So basically I can see here, I'll just click on this. I'll come here and I can track those errors. So it is showing me that the NIC servers are running slow. So basically it was errors. So it was error sourced from the government portal itself, and that is why it actually failed to push the invoice. So once kind of these are being these errors are being solved, I can again push the invoice to my Cleartax portal. But at the same time, my delivery notes were, the EV bills were kind of successfully pushed. So I can check that as well. So these are successfully pushed to the Cleartax portal. This way I can track the errors and rectify it. If there is any kind of a data error also, if I've wrongfully filled any kind of ID, I can check that and kind of correct it and then push it back again. Now, we also know that generation of a purchase invoice and the GST invoice also becomes very important for our GSTR 2A and 2B reconciliation. So what I will do is basically I'll come to one of my purchase invoice that I can see over here. Supplier invoice number and supplier invoice date becomes very important while we are pushing our data to the GSTR 2A to B. The reason is because when it does the reconciliation, it gives you a clear idea against which supplier invoice number is there any mismatch or is there any suggested matches. I will check all of the details that I have correctly kind of put in my purchase invoice. And what I'll do now is I'll come here and I'll generate a GST invoice. So it has generated the GST invoice successfully. And how do I check it? First step, I'll come here. The GST invoice section of my ERPNext purchase invoice did not have this checkbox ticked. Now, when I generated a GST invoice, it shows me that, okay, the GST invoice is successfully generated. How can I check it, whether it is rightfully pushed to the Cleartax portal? I'll come here. I'll click on the dashboard. These are my GST invoice section. I'll click on this card. I will come to the data overview section. I will select the company that I have kind of punched my purchase invoice into. I'll select the month range. I'll apply it. And I see that the supplier says this purchase invoice number was being rightfully pushed. I can see the details also. So all of the details are being kind of correctly fetched in. Now, we also know that we generate bulk generation of GST invoice is also an activity for us. What we can do is, I will just come here. Okay, 57. Okay, select the other invoices. So I'm multi-selecting the invoices. I'll come to this action button and I'll generate a GST invoice. So now the GST invoices are scheduled to be generated. It just took around 2 seconds time for me to bulk generate my GST invoice. So it is that fast. Basically, I'll just see that all of these invoices are rightly pushed or not. I'll come to this section. I will just have to reload it once. Cool. I can see that these invoices have been correctly pushed. So this shows me how fast my GST activities can go on a daily basis or a monthly basis, because it's just a one-time activity. I have to come here, I have to just multi-select the invoices, generate a GST invoice. All other compliances, like for example, related to your eligibility of ITC or anything that is related to your RCM. It's just a one-time configuration that you do against your supplier or a customer. And those configurations will be rightfully done when 884 Digital takes care of your implementation of this integration. So one-time configurations, and these activities are just like how you do your mundane tasks. So it becomes very, very easy for your accounts team as well. uh, these are the some kind of standard functionality we showed you, but obviously other features like the e-way bill with IRN, your deemed exports, your shipment e-way bills, everything are something that has been covered in this integration. So I would like to ask if there are any questions till now, so that we can move forward with the Cleartax module pieces. Okay.
So Harshda, there is a question in the chat.
Okay. Okay, I think I can see it.
So the question is, which version of ERPNext are you using for the demonstration?
Okay, right now we are using version 14, but this integration is compatible for version 13, 14, and even the future versions of ERPNext. Okay, if it is good to go, I think Shrikant, you can take over for the Cleartax pieces.
Yeah, right, Harshda. Thank you. So thank you very much, Harshda.
Yeah.
So first of all, would like to thank all the participants to spare your valuable time and give us an opportunity to interact with you all. So I would like to introduce my colleague, CA Shailja Sood. So she is a compliance product expert from Cleartax. Shailja will take you through the product overview what we have and the introduction to Cleartax, and then we will go for a glimpse of the magical artificial intelligence based Cleartax tool for reconciliation, right? So Shailja.
Yeah, thank you, Shrikant. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon to you all. So I'll just present my screen. Okay. So I hope my screen is visible to all of you.
Yes,
First,
it is.
okay, thank you. Okay, so thank you for joining today's webinar. So starting with Clear, we'll just give you a quick background about the Clear. I'm sure you must have heard about Clear, which was formerly known as Cleartax, right? So earlier we used to operate for the consumer business in terms of income tax filings, etc., wherein we had more than 6 million plus consumers, right? Then with the advent of GST, we moved towards GST compliances. So we started back in 2017 when the GST came into the picture, and through that, we built the tax compliance platform. And as on date, we have more than 4,000 big enterprises who are who are using our compliance solution, for automating their GST compliances and other compliances as well, right? We have around 1,500 and plus customers, who are generating e-invoicing through our portal. And now we've also been awarded the status of IRP, Invoice Registration Portal, right? So apart from NIC, we have also become one of the IRP out of the four, licenses that the government has given out, right? We are one of them. And also, we are one of the SaaS platforms which are also serving to SMEs, right? And we also have around 30,000, more than 30,000, right, CAs and tax experts in Cleartax, wherein we solutionize and we answer and provide a solution to all the tax compliance issues that the companies are generally facing. Here on the screen, you can also see quickly the host of awards that Cleartax has received for their services in terms of the best GST solution or the tech leader, fintech leader award of the year, etc. Here we have just portrayed few of the big logos, who have onboarded with us for one of or more of the compliance or the Cleartax solutions that we offer. So you can see on the screen that that we cater to all big names, all big brands here who are using our solutions and who are easing their compliance burden through our effective and automated solutions. Okay. In terms of integrations, right, as we were mentioning earlier also, that we have an in-house ERP integration capabilities also, and we've done around more than 1900 plus successful integrations, out of which we have 75 plus team of in-house integration engineers who help us with such integrations, and with a faster turnaround of 2 to 3 weeks. Of course, it is based on the mode of integration and the complexities in the ERP, etc. Right? Okay. So now coming on to the various solutions, right? So as we seen that currently most of the tasks earlier were done manually. Once you're uploading a file, using a manual JSON method for creating an invoice, then a separate Excel is prepared for the purchase data as well as the sales data, which again is used for the purpose of GST filings, doing GST recons, etc. So that entire cycle on the sales, like maybe invoice, e-bill generation, or G1 filing, or on the purchase side, starting not just from for 3B and recon, but starting from purchase booking, the complete AP cycle, the invoice booking cycle, to doing the recon and filing of the 3B. The entire task is involves lot of manual efforts and gets mundane for the tax teams and the basic operations team. So that is how we built this intelligence and automations in finance operations to actually cater to the entire CFO office, right? Wherein we have multiple offerings from various buckets, as you can see on the screen. So we have offerings on the accounts payable side, tax and compliance side, board office and corporate strategy, treasury, and the complete vendor onboarding, right? So a complete set of so this is a complete clear finance cloud wherein all these solutions are totally integratable and they communicate with each other, right? So you don't have to manually prepare any file, upload, and etc. They are completely integratable and they talk to each other in the sense that a data that is, say for example, we've raised an e-invoice, then you don't have to again upload the data for your G1 filings or G3 filings. All these solutions are actually communicating to each other, so that the data that is uploaded in any one of the solution gets auto fetched or auto quit or to the other solution which requires that particular or the same set of data, right? So starting with the accounts payable side. So on the accounts payable side, we have a clear capture solution, which is an automated invoice processing solution, right? So whenever we receive an invoice from our vendors, we can actually automate its booking in our ERP. So through using the OCR technology, right, we digitalize that invoice and also run certain 60 plus validations on that invoice to see whether the invoice is valid or not on various aspects, like a supplier was liable to issue an e-invoice, whether he has issued an e-invoice compliant invoice or not, whether a appropriate e-bill has been issued, what is the status of the supplier, whether its registration is not deactivated or inactive or suspended, etc. So all such 60 plus validations are there, which get run on that digital invoice, and once that invoice passes those validations, that invoice is actually booked in the ERP, right? So it is a pre-facto validations that we run on the invoice before actually we book that invoice in the ERP, right? Then in terms of tax compliances, we offer solutions like clear e-invoicing and e-bill, which is used for automating the generation of your e-invoices and e-bills, and also normal invoices which are applicable to small companies wherein e-invoicing is not applicable, or say B2C invoices, etc., delivery challans, and generation of all invoices apart from e-invoicing also. Next, we have a Clear GST solution. So our Clear GST solution is a completely integratable tool wherein you can do multiple activities. One is filing your GST returns. So we offer all kinds of GST returns filing, ranging from GSTR 1 to 3B to GSTR 6 for ISD returns, GSTR 9 and 9C, which are annual returns, ITC 04, which is a job work return. So we offer end-to-end filing, and what we also offer is a PAN level filing. So all GSTs that you have under a single PAN, right, you can file their return within one go, right? And end-to-end filing you can do, including filing that return with DS and EVC through a solution itself, that too at a PAN level, right? Apart from that, what we offer under a Clear GST 2.0 is certain reports basis the returns that you have filed. You can get a complete insight of those returns and the data file. You can check the vendor GST and verifications. You can get a report on the compliance status of your organization. So we have this 20 plus smart and intuitive reports that you can access and use for your benefit within the organization in terms of data and turnover details, etc. Apart from that, we also offer a basic recon as a part of our Clear GST solution, inward recon as well as recon of your e-invoices with your sales register. And on the inward link, we offer both two-way reconciliation with your purchase register as well as 2B reconciliations to reconcile your ITC. And once that ITC is reconciled, that reconciled portion of the ITC is automatically consumed for reporting that in GSTR 3B as per the new disclosure requirement that had come up last year and mandated by the government to report the ITC in a particular format under table 4, right? Uh, then we have a Clear Max ITC solution, which is an advanced vendor ecosystem management solution, which has advanced and customized recon logics apart from the logics that are there in Clear GST solution. We also have in this Clear Max ITC solution, one is the advanced and customized recon. The other we offer is automating your vendor payments, wherein we automatically block and unblock the payment of your non-compliant and defaulting vendors in your ERP itself, right? So that complete task of the AP team or the finance team to block or unblock or release the payment gets automated to your vendors. What we also offer in ClearMax ITC is a two-way vendor communication, right? Wherein you can communicate, you can send email communications to all your defaulting vendors in bulk. And on the email, you'll receive a link to the vendor portal wherein they can just log in. They don't have to register on Cleartax. They can log in and send a response to you. So a complete audit trailer repository of the communication that you're having with all your vendors will be available in one screen, just like any social media chat or you use your WhatsApp, right? So that, and we also, apart from these features, we offer a CFO dashboard in our ClearMax ITC solution, which will give a bird eye view to a tax head or to a CFO of the ITC compliances, of the ITC status, working capital impact that this ITC is having on the organization as a whole, right? Then on the direct tax front also, we have a Clear TDS solution, wherein we offer end-to-end TDS filing of all kinds of returns ranging from 24Q to 26Q, 27Q, 27EQ for TCS also. But before these filing of these returns, preparation of FVU files and filing, etc., what we offer in a clear TDS return is a lot of validations on the data before you actually file it. So we have validations in terms of PAN validations. You can verify the PAN in bulks, including 206 AB check, PAN Aadhaar linkage, name as per PAN matching with reporting portal or not. We have certain interest validations to check whether any interest or potential interest that you would, the company would be liable to pay. We have LDC validations to check the LDC status of your, loan deduction certificates received their validity, etc. We have challan level validations to check the sync non-sync status, match mismatch status of your challans, unconsumed balance of your challans. So we have all these validations to run on your TDS data, and then you can use that data for filing of your TDS returns. Apart from that, we also offer again these reports in terms of PAN reports, challan reports, LDC reports, to give a brief overview of or the reporting of the data for verifying them in bulk, right? Apart from that, we also offer in our TDS solution is generation of your form 16 and 16A in bulk and disseminating or distributing them to your employees and your vendors, right? So here you can in one go generate your form 16s, and you can even customize them in terms of, you know, attaching company's logo, attaching a DSE, attaching a cover letter, password protecting the files, etc. So you can customize those form 16s and send them in bulk out to your vendors and to your employees, right? Apart from that, on the TDS receivable part, we also perform a tech-enabled managed services service for, you know, 26 AS recon with your TDS receivable ledgers, so that you can claim the appropriate TDS credit while filing your income tax returns. Coming on to the board officer's corporate strategy leg, wherein we have a solution called Simplify, right? So Clear acquired a company called Simplify last year, which deals into secretarial compliance of automation, which, you know, which caters to your board office compliance, your company secretaries, wherein they can automate it, the compliances that are mentioned under the Companies Act. They can do a lot of regular tasks on that portal directly without actually manually doing it, in terms of, you know, preparing minutes, sending out notices, compliances which needs to be adhered by the directors, etc., can be done on this solution automatically, right? Then on the treasury leg, we have a Clear invoice discounting, wherein again the Clear had acquired this company called Expertise. So Clear invoice discounting majorly works that it's an early payment program, wherein you can earn or you can save a revenue or you can earn yield basis the early payment program that you run, right? So wherein we would onboard your vendors and run an early payment program, so that you earn that you receive that arbitrage on early payment by getting a discount on such early payments, right? Next, on the vendors or the AP leg, we also have a Clear vendor portal, which is a complete end-to-end vendor portal, which will again also include your Clear capture. So it is a one-stop solution, wherein, you know, you can onboard your vendors, you can do KYC of your vendors, new vendors, existing vendors, and also you can also have a Clear capture, a part of it, wherein, you know, your vendors can upload the invoices in soft format on the server or any common email ID or on the vendor portal, which again we will using the OCR technology digitalize them, run validations, do three-way check in terms of the invoice, PO, and the GRN done, and post that invoice in your ERP. So it is an end-to-end vendor management portal and invoice booking portal that you can have for onboarding and doing vendor compliances and communications. Right. Apart from this Clear, the solutions that you can see on the screen, what we have recently also built is a notice management solution, wherein you can keep a track of all the notices that you receive from the tax authorities. Currently, under the phase one, we have gone live with the GST notices. So all the GST notices that you receive for all your registrations, right, that can be fetched and that can be managed through that notice management solution. Secondly, we also have certain APIs available, right, which can be used for KYC. So we call them as Clear Identity KYCs. So you can use these APIs for vendor onboarding, doing check on such vendors at the time you onboard them, or on your vendors, you can check their GST and verification, say at half yearly basis, quarterly basis, or annual basis. So we have all these APIs like GST and verification APIs through which you can check the GST and status of your vendors, compliance tracking, wherein you can check whether your vendors are compliant or not, PAN verification to verify the PAN of your vendors as well as of your employees, UAM and UN verification to check the MSME validity of your MSME vendors through the MSME certificates. 206 AB check under TDS to check whether your vendors have actually filed their income tax returns for the last 2 years. In case not, then you will be liable to deduct TDS at a higher rate and make payment to them. PAN Aadhaar linking status check, bank account verification, wherein we check the bank account number, IFSC code, and what we do is a penny drop mechanism that we follow. That we kind of transfer 1 rupee and check whether the account is active. It is in the name of the relevant vendor or your employee or not. Then we have a MCA detail check to check the status of the companies, whether it's been striked off, etc. PAN GST linkage to check that how many GSTs are there at a PAN level. Checking the CIN status, Aadhaar verifications. So these are few of the APIs, but apart from that, there are certain other APIs also that we provide basis the case to case basis or the requirement that you might have for your business specifically, right? So it is a completely integrated wherein input in terms of, say, if I talk about GST and verification, input in terms of the GST number would go, and result in terms of the output details that we provide under this API would be, you would receive back in your ERP. So that is how these APIs work, which companies find very useful in terms of automating these tasks at a time of vendor onboarding, doing their KYCs, or at a regular basis, also to check the compliance of the vendors, so that there is no issue in claiming the credit from the vendors. So this is a brief overview of the Clear and the solutions that we provide at Clear to help automate and effectively manage your compliances at various lengths. Okay. Now I think so. My colleague Shrikant will take you briefly through our GST tool that we just discussed, right? So we'll just take you briefly towards a demo of that GST solution that we have. And
Yeah.
meanwhile, in case any of you have any questions, you can type them in the Q&A box. Okay, Shrikant, you can take over.
Yeah, right. So thanks, Shelja, for the beautiful presentation. And as we rightly said, to make your compliance journey, easy, productive, and error-free. What we have done is the Shelja has just all the products are explained by Shelja in brief. So what we have done is this is the launch page of what we call it CFC. CFC stands for Clear Finance Cloud. So as you could see, like there are different offerings, different products dealing with different issues. So what we have done is we have brought all the product on a single login to avoid multiple multiple logins, multiple credential management and all. So whatever product you opt for can be accessed from a single login. So as you can see, we have Clear GST, Clear Max ITC, Clear e-invoicing. All the products which we have just discussed before this are here. So just to give you a glimpse of how powerful the tool is, and how it helps you in reducing your time in the reconciliation or compliance activities, the tool can help you, right? So I'll show you a Clear GST tool, one of the tools which we have discussed so far. So Clear GST tool is a end-to-end solution for for the compliance activities, regular compliance activities which we normally follow. So there are three major issues which this particular tool takes care of. Okay, number one is return filing. So we can file all our monthly and annual returns from here. We can do that on a PAN level. PAN level in the sense, like normally what we follow is we do it on a GSTN level. So it takes a lot of time. Like suppose we have 5 GST registrations, so we have to do that activity 5 times. So we can say upload the data and prepare the returns on at a PAN level. We can review them on a GSTN level and submit it, right? So we can do all the return filing, our monthly returns like GSTR 1 and 3B, like pertaining to ISD, we can do GSTR 6. For job work, we can do ITC 04. Annual returns like GSTR 9 and 9C. All of these can be filed from Cleartax. Apart from that, we have in order to manage our compliance, we need to have certain informations in a easily understandable and presentable way. So the report section covers, we have 24 plus informative reports. Like, so we have categorized the reports in categories like the recommended reports are there, right? Reports pertaining to purchase are there. Report pertaining to filed returns, which which will consist the historical data of what we have disclosed to the government through our GST return will be there. We can check a comparison report in like, for example, for GSTR 1 versus GSTR 3B versus books. Same thing for purchase, we can have it for GSTR 2B versus 3B versus books. These reports can also be seen at a PAN level, and a comparison can also be seen in between a PAN between the GSTN, right? So these are the insightful reports. Apart from that, we can also get the details pertaining to the ledgers, right? Our cash ledger and credit ledger can also be accessed from this tool itself. So you need not log into any other portal to manage your compliance, right? Suppose the CFO or the senior management wants to see the status of different GST returns, whether the returns are filed on time or not, or whether it is filed or not. So there is a option of filing tracker. So this particular dashboard will show you the status of all your GST return, monthly, annual, whether the returns are filed or not, whether the returns are filed on time or not. The CFO or the senior management need not follow up with the concerned team to get the information. They can simply log into this, click on the filing tracker and get the detail, right? So there are other informative reports as well, like we have GSTIN verification. So we need to verify our vendors on a periodic basis. So what we can do is we can simply go to the GSTIN verification report. We have option to verify the GSTN, single GSTN, as well as in the bulk as well, right? So now we can upload all our vendors GSTN in a CSV format and can get the detail of the GSTNs. So these are the different reports. I'm not going in depth in this. Just to give a glimpse of this, I have shared this report column. And then the third one is the most burning issue, most time consuming and regular activity, that is the reconciliation, right? So pertaining to purchase and sales, we have different reconciliations with us. Okay, so pertaining to purchase, we have GSTR two-way versus purchase reconciliation, which we normally do to identify our blocked ITC due to the non-compliance of the vendor. So this we normally do on a monthly basis on a YTD data, right? Then we have GSTR 2B versus purchase reconciliation. So this is a regular activity. We do it to identify the ITC to be claimed in a particular return period before preparing our GSTR 3B. So this is 2B versus purchase reconciliation. Then we have GSTR 6A versus purchase reconciliation. We have GSTR 9 stable 8A versus purchase reconciliation. Again, we do it before preparing our annual return of GSTR 9. Pertaining to sales, we have three important reconciliations. Number one is e-invoicing. That is the draft GSTR 1 versus sales register reconciliation. So why this reconciliation is important? So when we generate IRN number through the e-invoice, okay, the data of our B2B invoices, which we have disclosed to the government as a result of e-invoice, should get auto-populate in the upload section of your GSTR1. So the objective of this arrangement is basically when you go for your GSTR1 filing, your data of your B2B invoices is readily available over there for filing your return. You can simply upload the other data like your B2C summary and other details and file your return. But practically, because this NIC server and the GSTN server are, both are the different servers. So due to some data decay, your 100% data from your NIC does not get auto-populate on your GSTR once upload section. So to arrest this problem, what we have to do is, normally what practically people do is they either reset the data, complete data from your GSTR1 upload section, or they will sort it manually, find the invoices which are not uploaded over there, which is again a time consuming activity. So this is a 5 to 10 minute reconciliation we can do before filing our GSTR1. It will let you know that, okay, which are these 5%, 4% invoices, which are either not auto-populated in your upload section of GSTR1 or partially auto-populated, right? So it will help you compliant, avoid the, risk of notices in future, and it will save your time in terms of, answering those notices and checking the data manually, and right? Then we have e-way bill versus sales register reconciliation. Okay, this also helps at times. Then we have GL versus sales register reconciliation. Again, this we do before, preparing our annual return. Okay, so the modus operandi of all the reconciliation is almost, more or less same. So I will cover, in detail this to be versus purchase register reconciliation, just to give you a glimpse of, the capability of the tool. Okay, so to run this reconciliation, I can simply click on this. Once I'll click on this reconciliation, it will take me to the reconciliation window, where on top I can select the particular PAN. Again, here also reconciliation we are running at a PAN level, right? So we are running it for all the GSTNs at the same time. Okay, so suppose I'm selecting this, right? It will take me to the selection of the time. So I can select the time duration for which I want to do this reconciliation. I have an option to select different time frame for my 2B and my PR, because sometimes we want to suppose I'm doing the reconciliation for this month purchase register with my 2B. So there is possibility that, okay, there are old documents in 2B which I have received the invoices in PR this month. So I may require a reconciliation between 2B from April till date and PR for this particular month. So likewise, I can select it as per my used case, right? So as of now, I am doing it for the 1 second. Right. Okay, so as of now, I'm doing it for a larger, period of time to cover all the used cases in this, right? So as you can see, I can click on update data if I want to update the data. So I can click on update data to update it. So suppose I don't have any data in my GSTR2B. What I can do is I can simply get it verified with help of OTP and fetch the data from there, right? Apart from this, suppose because I want to fetch the data of my purchase register, I can click on skip, and I can go to the purchase register this thing. So as a result of API based integration, I already have my documents over here for the selected period, right? So if I have it, I can again skip because I already have the document, and then I can run the reconciliation, right? So as soon as I'll run the reconciliation, okay, it will start reconciliating my GSTR2B and my purchase register against the different criterias. So the criterias are like, number one is the invoice number, number two is the my GST number of my vendor, then my payable like taxable value, tax value, CGST, SGST, IGST wise bifurcation, then my cess value if it is applicable, my document date, and my return period. And if there are other criteria like RCM applicability and so on. Just allow me a moment. Yeah. So like while we were discussing, it has done the reconciliation. So if I'm doing this reconciliation manually, it will take me to sort the data itself, at least a day time to sort the data, right? So here it has sorted the data within minutes and categorized the document based on the matching category. So there are three major matching category. Number one is matched, number two is mismatched, number three is missing, right? So and it is also showing the number of documents in 2B and in PR, the values, the text values, and the text difference, right? So in matched, further it is subcategorizing the data into the three subcategories. Number one is exact match. So exact match are the invoices. So these are 72 invoices which are exactly matching, where there is no difference of amount, there is no difference of invoice number, there is no difference of date. So each and everything among the invoices in 2B and the respective invoices in PR are 100% matching. So that's why it is fall into the exact match category. In exact match category, you can see the text difference is also as 0. In the same way, okay, manual I will cover it later on with an example. Okay, in the suggested match, there are two types of document. Number one is where there is a practically when we do the reconciliation, you would have experienced this problem that when vendor issues one invoice, and when he files the invoice in his GSTR1, he puts some prefix or suffix on the invoice number. Like for example, I have issued a invoice to one of my my client XYZ. So I have issued an invoice number 1. When I'll file the return, I'll put it like XYZ oblique the month oblique invoice number 1. Likewise, I will file the return. So in such cases, when we are doing it manually, it is very difficult to track such invoices without going through each and every invoice, right? So what Cleartax does basically, Cleartax tool works on artificial intelligence, and there are 150 different fuzzy logics. Based on that, it will identify that okay, these invoices which are looking different, but these are the same invoices, and it will be fall into the suggested match category by the system. So these are the invoices which are basically reconciled by the system itself, right? And second is where there is an issue of rounding it off. Like you would have experienced this as well, that suppose I am your vendor, I have issued you an invoice of say 1 lakh rupee and 25 paisa. While filing the return, this 25 paisa I have rounded it off. So it is very difficult without going through each and every invoice to identify such small differences. So what Cleartax does, Cleartax identifies such invoices also and will put them also into the suggested match category, right? So you can see among these 14 invoices, the difference is just 46 paisa, right? So these invoices are reconciled by the system itself. Now, the invoices come where there is actual some issue. So you can see there are 16 invoices into the mismatch category. All such invoices where there is a difference of more than a round off. There is a difference of, multiple differences like, invoice number is also different. My dates are also different. My taxable value, tax values are also different. So system will identify that, okay, these are the invoices which has to be once observed by the user will fall into the mismatch category. So where I was supposed to, check this 1870 documents, I actually have to check only the 16 documents, right? So this is the power of the tool. It will basically shorten the sample size, what you have to work upon. And the lastly is missing. So missing has two subcategories, missing in 2B. That means the invoice is available in my purchase register, but not in my 2B, and vice versa. Missing in PR means it is available in my 2B, but not in PR. And if we want to check this on a document level, we can click on view to go to the document view over here, right? So normally we do not spend this much time on this particular page, but just to make you understand the categories, I have spent some time over here. So to work upon it, to identify the ITC, what we can do is we can go to the document view. In document view, okay, it is showing us the summary over here. So this is a summary, and these are each and every individual documents available here. So just, before we go to the reconciliation, you can see these are the document number as per my 2B. These are the document numbers as per my purchase register. This is the matching status which we have just discussed in the summary part. Okay, this is the type of document, vendor's detail, taxable value, then tax value. Okay, then the total document value, document date, okay, whether RCM is available or not, and so on. So all the details are put over here in the at the document level as well. And in the mismatch field, we will get, if there is a mismatch, if it is not matched or it is not missing, then why it is mismatched, that detail will show over here in this particular column. Right. So how we can work on this? We have given a lot of filters to provide you a flexibility to select the data as per your use case. Like, for example, I can search the document from my document number, from my voucher number, and so on. So we have given a different, filters to provide you a flexibility to work upon your use cases. Right. So how we will work? What is the basically intention of doing the reconciliation is to identify the ITC to be claimed in my GSTR 3B. So what I can do is I can simply select, suppose matching status, exact match. I'm applying the filter. Once I'll apply the filter, you can see the summary on top. There is no difference in this. Okay, we can also check if we want to check, like for example, this invoice we have checked. So there is no difference, right? It is, 1620, same tax amount is there. There is no difference in the dates as well, right? Everything is matching. So all such invoices which are exactly matching will have no difference. We can directly select all of these, go to the action. So in action, we have given different actions. Like in this case, I will claim this ITC. Once I'll click on claim ITC, it will ask me to be claimed it from purchase register or from my 2B. So I can select it. I can select the month in which I want to claim it, and I can save. So as soon as I'll save this, okay, this value, cumulated value, will keep on adding over here in the ITC claim amount. So as per my action, as this was exactly matching, but there might be some cases where I want to keep it as pending. I want to, reverse the ITC, which I already claimed. I want to, keep mark it as ineligible ITC. I can do all these activities from here. So as per my action, this will keep on adding over here in the different headings. For some cases where the invoice is partially eligible for ITC to be claimed, in that case, suppose this is such invoice, what you can do is you can go to the action, go to the claim ITC part. You can select to be value. You can select what percentage of that you want to claim. So you can put, suppose this is 50%, you can put it like that and save it. So suppose you know that, okay, there are certain invoices which are partially eligible. You can, claim the partial amount as well from here. So this is for exact match. Apart from this, manual I will cover. In suggested match, as I was giving certain examples to you. So when I'll select this, okay, you will identify that, okay, there are some invoices where I have deliberately made some, changes in the invoice number. So for an example, you can see in this particular invoice. So this invoice, okay, the vendor is same. There is no difference in the vendor. It is an SSIT. You can see the invoice number. I have deliberately made some difference. So here the invoice number is 1924. Here the invoice number is 1905, right? But what system has checked is, system has checked that, okay, there is no difference in the amount. Vendor is also same. Okay, there is, okay, no difference in the document value as well. No difference in the document date. So there is like other criterias, it has already checked it upon and put it into the suggested match category. So this is one point. All such documents will be will fall over here. And second thing, wherever there is an issue of rounding it off, like you can see the invoice number 403, there is a difference of 52 paisa. So this document also, it is put it into the suggested match category. So likewise, whatever work we have to do it manually, is already done by the tool itself, and the powerful AI based tool has shorten your sample on which you have to perform the reconciliation activity. So again I can do like, I can select all these invoices, go to the action and take action accordingly. I can claim ITC, select it from 2B and claim it. Now it comes to the mismatch, where actually we have to work, where there is some issue, right? So we can go here. So rather than working on all these 1800 invoices, now we have to work only on the 16 invoices. In this also, suppose we have certain tolerance limit, like for example, I have a tolerance limit of say 500 rupees. So what I can do is, here I can put it as minus 500 to plus 500 as my tolerance, right? So as per your use case, you can do that. Okay, and I can apply filter. So if there are certain invoices where the tax difference is lesser than 500, will fall over here, right? And in this, obviously by checking other criteria are matching or not, based on that we can select these invoices and shorten, like further select these invoices for the ITC to be claimed with the difference, right? Whatever my tolerance limit is. So likewise we can act upon it. Now there are invoices where there is some difference, like for example, this is an invoice where there is a difference of say 900 rupees. Now, when I observed the proof, I found that, okay, this particular vendor of mine has made some mistake and there has to be correction made by the vendor. So in this case, I can go to the remark column. In this, I can put whatever remark I want to put. Like here, I have already put the remark. So you can put it like, for example, the invoice value is not correct. Please correct it. Value is whatever is the value, we can put it. So up to 200 characters, you can leave a remark for either for your internal team or for the vendor, right? So you can save it, and this remark will be saved over here, right? So whenever in future, if you want to see the reference, you can see the remarks are already put over here, right? So likewise, for all the invoices where I want to work, I can work accordingly, put the remark for either my team or for my vendor, right? And like all the other invoices where ITC was supposed to be claimed, I have already claimed over here. Now the last case is missing in PR and missing in GSTR 2B. So in this case, there are invoices which are either missing in PR or missing in 2B. So there are some instances, some particular vendors industries are there where we take services multiple times in a month. Like for example, telecommunication, or for example, banking. So we take banking services 10 times, 15 times, 20 times in a month. Banks issue 15, 20 or whatever number of transactions are there, that many invoices, and file the return accordingly. So we will have multiple invoices in GSTR 2B, right? Whereas while entering it into my purchase register, I have done one entry or two entries in a month, right? So in that case, I know that, okay, these are the vendors where there are multiple invoices in 2B with different invoices in PR representing to the other, right? So in this case, what we do is we can link such invoices. So I'm just taking one example of, for example, this DTDC. Okay, I can click on this particular invoice in my 2B. Against this, there is an option of linking. So I can simply click on link. As soon as I'll click on link, I will get all the invoices in PR for this DTDC as well as in my GSTR 2B for this this account, right? So what I can do is I can link these invoices. So these are the two invoices which I know that, okay, are representing this particular invoice. So I can also link it. So once I'll click on save, so you can see, okay, coincidentally amount is also matching. So we can, once I'll click on save, these documents will move out from missing and it will go to the manually linked, which I left earlier to show you with the example, right? So I can save it from here. So likewise, we have an option to link one document in 2B to one document in PR, one document in 2B with multiple documents in PR, multiple many to many linking, and many to one linking. So all the used cases will be covered in this, right? So like this tool provides you complete flexibility to select all of your used cases and complete the reconciliation like this. All right. So now our reconciliation is completed on all the used cases. You can also use other filters as per your use cases. We have identified the ITC amount to be claimed, okay, for the selected period, and other headings as well. Now after the reconciliation, basically there are three follow-up activities which we have to do. Number one is this ITC amount. I want to utilize it, or I want to autofill it in my GSTR 3B table so that I can file the return. So you need not change this data manually. What you can do is you can go to the view 3B table, okay, click on continue and autofill that data what we have identified over there as a ITC to be claimed, ITC to be reversed, kept pending, and so on. Fill it over here in the GSTR 3B and continue the 3B filing from here itself. That is one activity. Second activity, if I want to for my future audit, I want to download this data. I can download this data in my Excel as well, right? This is second option for future audit. Even in addition to this, if I want to check, historical status of reconciliation for any invoice, we have given a audit trail. So in the last column, you can see there is a clock. So I can click on this particular tab to check the audit trail for this particular invoice. So it will show me a audit trail of this invoice since this invoice has come into the system. So this invoice came in the system in August 9th, 2022. It was missing in supplier list at that point of time. Then it got merged. So likewise, whatever status has changed, it will show you the complete audit trail over here, right? So likewise, we can do the reconciliation like this. So our first objective was to auto-populate the ITC amount in GSTR 3B. That can be done. We can check, download the data or check the audit trail for a single invoice or for the entire sample as well. Now, third thing is, once we complete the reconciliation, normally we follow up with the vendor in bits and pieces, because if there is some ITC lost because of some vendor, we do the reconciliation manually. The practically when you see what you do in your offices is one of your team member will call to that particular vendor or the employee who is attached to that particular vendor to follow up with them, and there is no formal written communication happen, or even if it happens, like it happens in bits and pieces. So what we have given is we have given a vendor communication option over here. So we can, so in settings we have a vendor master. You can feed over here. If my vendor master is feed with the concerned contact email IDs and number, what I can do is I can select either all the vendors in one go, or selective selection can also be done. I have an option to send email. So once I'll click on send email, what it will do is it will generate the recipient list over here. So for example, here I have only one email ID mentioned. So it has fetched it from my vendor master. If the vendor is new, or if there are vendors where I have not yet put the email IDs, if I want to put it manually, I can go to the view option and I can put it manually from here as well, right? So this is one more option. We can put some email ID of our concern into the CC if we want to put it. In from, we have to put the email ID on which we want to receive the reply from the vendor. Suppose the vendor replies, we will receive the reply on this particular vendor, this particular email ID, which we'll mention in the from, right? Apart from that, in subject, you can see reconciliation summary for particular business name, particular vendor GST. So whenever you will send this mail, the respective vendor will receive the subject with his name and his GST number, right? Apart from this, so in this file, system has segregated the invoices. Segregated in the sense, respective vendor will receive the respective invoice only, not the invoices of other vendors. So there is no cross feed of the invoices. But still, there are invoices which we have either accepted, where there is no issues, where the vendor need not act, still are there in this attachment. So what we have done is we have given a filter in which you can filter the data you want to share with the vendor. So you can go to the filter, different filters. For example, like in matching status, I do not want to share exact match because there is no issue in this. Manually match also, I have already matched it manually. Suggested match is matched by the system. Mismatch is the one which I want to share. Missing in PR is the one which has to be checked by my team, so I will not share it with the vendor. And missing in 2B, I have to share. So likewise, like as per your used case, you can select it from here. Okay, different filters, the relevant data which you want to share, and click on apply. Whatever filter you will apply, according to that, whenever you will click on send, there will be, like for example, here there are 103 vendors. So 103 different emails will be shoot from Cleartax server to these different vendors with only their respective data. There is no data of any other vendor feed in that. With the relevant invoices, relevant in the sense, all the irrelevant invoices which we already filter off from here will not be there. Only the invoices which you have filtered in will be there. With your remark, the remark which I have put over there against that invoice, where I want the vendor to act upon according to that remark, will also be there in this attachment. So once I'll click on send, there will be 103 different emails going to the different respective vendors with the relevant data. So in this activity is called as vendor communication. In absence of this, when we do the vendor communication, mostly it is done in bits and pieces. Even if it is done, we have to segregate the data. We have to draft the mail manually, attach the data manually, and send the this email to the different users. And when we are doing it manually, it will not only take a lot of time, but it will also these manual errors are bound to happen, because when we are doing it manually, definitely manual errors are bound to happen. So this is called as like this we can complete the reconciliation, which normally we do in a 2-day to 7 days time, depends upon the quantum and number of people involved in that. Can be done in a single day, including the reconciliation, not in a single day but in hours, including reconciliation and the vendor communication as well. Apart from this, you need not put the data in your GSTR 3B form manually. It can be automatically auto-populate from here to your GSTR 3B form. Also, there are certain invoices which were there. Suppose there were some 10 invoices in my GSTR 2B which were not in my in my purchase register. So when we are doing the reconciliations manually, we have to track all such invoices as well. But in this system, all the invoices which are either not claimed the ITC for or not marked as ineligible will keep on carry forward for your present month reconciliation as well. So you need not track the invoices manually which are not yet reconciled or not yet claimed, right? So that is also the automation, the power of automation, which will ensure that 100% of your ITC is claimed, 100% of the vendor communication is done. You do not miss any invoice because of the manual process or because of the Excel based process, and it will save a lot of time of yours. And as all of us know that the finance teams have a lot of important works which are either pushed away because of these regular activities, or are never done because they are always engaged in this compliance activities. So it will keep your finance team more productive, accurate in terms of data, in terms of timing, and will allow them to spend time on the other productive work as well, right? So it will definitely increase your team's productivity up to close to 70%, right? So so this is just the reconciliation. Apart from that, I'm not covering the return filing in depth and other products. It was just to provide you a glimpse of the product. You can raise queries on different products which Shailja presented to you in a brief manner. So you can get back to us on your problem statement, and we can schedule different calls for the respective product presentation and demo to you, right? So, Shalja, anything you want to add?
Nothing, Shrikant. I think we are
Okay,
good.
thank you. Uh,
Thank you
yeah,
so much,
so Harsha,
Shrikant.
over to you.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thanks everyone. We have tried to kind of cover certain questions that we got on the personal chat. There was one question from Kanchan about the mail. Definitely, we can actually, we can share you the recording of this demonstration so that you can get you can get the answer of the mail part. How we can integrate the Cleartax, because you can reach out to us. We will be downloading that GST India app, which is available on the marketplace on your ERPNext instance, and then we would be kind of implementing it, because many a times, as per the enterprise, there might be some case specific, so we can integrate it that way. Any other questions specific to we can answer those. Oh, you are using ERPNext and Cleartax both. Oh, great. So then we will only be kind of involved in integrating and implementing the integration. We can kind of reach out to you directly on that. And the other pieces we need to know the Cleartax module that you are using, and we'll try to get that information from the Cleartax team as well. We are sharing you the contact number, definitely. We are sharing you the contact details of where you can reach out to us. Either you can mail us at the given mail ID, or you can contact us directly. I'm just sharing it with you. Any other questions to the attendees on right there? Or else you can actually post us the mail at sales@884digital.com, or you can visit our landing page where you can also register yourself. It is double eight. I'll just put that in the chat as well, but it's 884digital.com/cleartax, where we are kind of providing the details, more details there, and you can kind of register for the detailed demonstration also. I am putting it in the chat for all of you guys.
So if there are any questions, please add it in the Q&A box and we'll take it up from there.
Yes, absolutely. Um, Okay, sure. We are going to share the recording of this video to every one of you. Post.
It will be uploaded on the Frappe YouTube channel very soon. So you can take it from there, and we'll be also sharing it with all the participants who registered for this webinar.
Um, okay, that looks cool. Um, any specific questions? Anything that anyone would like to ask? Otherwise, I think we are good to go. Mahima?
Okay, yeah, I think we can wrap up the session. So
Oh,
thank you all the participants for joining and taking time to attend this webinar. And thank you 8848 team and the Cleartax team for taking up the session and explaining everybody about the integration of Cleartax with the ERPNext. Thank you everyone for your time. Have a nice day.